do us a quick favor, guys. Hit the follow, subscribe button. Share this with someone who would benefit from it. And help us grow, as the more we grow, the better the episodes we'll get. Thanks, guys, for helping us. And let's get into the episode. Welcome back to this episode of the SCULPTED podcast today. I just want to go through a quick one, if I'm honest. An interesting video popped up on my YouTube. Now, I'm pretty open to it. Not too sure what it's going to be. The last time I listened to Sadhguru was a few months ago, maybe 2-3 months ago. Currently, as of that video, I haven't watched too much of him since. Just, I know that he currently is having a bit of health difficulties right now, potentially, maybe. I'm not too sure what's going on at the minute, but I did see something as this video popped up, but hopefully he's all good. I know that there's a lot of people who are big followers of him. So basically just today I wanted to go through this video, and it's how to remove negative thoughts. I just wanted to give my thoughts on it, go through it with you guys. Shouldn't be too long today. This video is only 7 minutes long, 8 minutes long actually. So yeah, I'm pretty keen just to get straight into it. Just before we start though, make sure you do like and subscribe. We've had heaps of guests on recently. Great episodes coming. Production value going up every single episode. More and more to come. Liam Miller is coming on the show more often. Val, you'll be back more often. There's going to be more and more podcasts every single week for you. Quality is going up. We're getting more entertaining, more stories in there for you. Hopefully, the most recent episode with Liam that should have came out a few days ago for you now that you're watching. There was a few entertaining stories in there for you. So yeah, continuing to sculpt the SCULPTED podcast. But anyways, guys, let's get straight into this one. Oh, actually, additionally, join the Patreon. What's up on there is basically some exclusive stuff. Hopefully with more people we get on there, we'll be able to ask you guys some questions, get some stories from you, see how we'd respond to it. We want to get a bit of a community going there. So yeah, join the Patreon. It's in the link in the description below. So yeah, guys, we'll just get straight into this one now.
There are no subtractions and divisions in our mind. There is only addition and multiplication. I will just remove negative thoughts and I will have positive thoughts. All the best, it's not going to work. It's just that you need to pay little attention as to how it functions. You will see there is a distinction between what is you and what you have gathered. Well, see the way the question is asked and also the way normally it's addressed is, people think there is something called as negative thought and positive thought. They want to remove the negative thoughts and have only positive thoughts. For such people, I would ask them to just experiment for 10-15 seconds. Let them forcefully remove one thought from their mind. For example, next 10 seconds, just don't think of a monkey. Try not to think of a monkey for next 10 seconds. You will see you will be full of monkeys. So what I'm saying is, this is the nature of your mind, because in this mind, all the three pedals are throttle. There is no brake, there is no clutch, whatever…
I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I would have thought of monkeys if I didn't see monkeys on my screen. I think I would have thought of something else, but maybe that's just me.
Wherever you touch, it will only go faster. In this kind of mind, people have been taught from moral teachers and religious teachers, do not think about bad things. Well, since then it's been a full-time job. So there is no way you can handle the mind like this. This doesn't need any great enlightenment. If you spend 2 minutes with your eyes closed, you will realize you cannot do anything forcefully with this mind. So, I want to remove negative thoughts. Do not ever go in this direction, because what you want to remove will become your quality. Always you will be on it. So what should I do? The thing is this, without understanding the fundamental mechanism of this mind, because our mind, human mind, is the most sophisticated computer on the planet. Even all the…
I think a pretty simple way of saying what he's saying there would be our brains are survival mechanisms. That's why we think of negative things. That's why we can't get that monkey out of our mind. It's there as a safety mechanism, not that that monkey is actually literally there. That habit of thought is there as a safety mechanism. It's the old tale of, the lion have a prediction. Obviously, you should know that the lion's dangerous. It will run after you. Therefore, you don't go near the lion. It's a survival mechanism.
Supercomputers have come out of this. When this is the case, is it not important that we understand the mechanics of how it functions? One simplistic aspect of how it functions is, there are no subtractions and divisions in our mind. There is only addition and multiplication. If you try to do something with it, it will say one more. If you try hard, it will multiply into many more. In this mind, you don't try to identify what is positive, what is negative and try to remove it. First of all, one needs to understand, this mind of yours, this body of yours is supposed to serve you. The life that you are is important. Body and mind are vehicles that must serve us. If you sit in a vehicle, it must go where you want to go. If it goes to its own destination, what is the point of such a vehicle? It's just a nuisance. Right now, most human beings are unfortunately experiencing this fantastic possibility of human mind as a nuisance, as a troublesome thing. Well, this is the most beautiful thing you have. It's just that you need to pay little attention as to how it functions. One simple thing is this. First and foremost process is, that's why we put out this process called Isha Kriya. This is to distance yourself from your physiological and psychological process. There is something called as you which exists. This is not a composite of all your thoughts and emotions and physiological processes. Beyond that, there is you. If you close your eyes, even if you cannot see anything, you're still there. It is through the window of your eyes that you're looking out, but if you close your eyes, it doesn't mean that you don't exist, you still exist. So beyond your thought, you still exist, beyond your emotion, you still exist. So that you, the life that you are, this has to come into your experience. Why is it that you're not allowing that to come into your experience, which is the most significant aspect of who you are? Who you are right now, the most significant aspect is, you and me are alive right now, this is it. What I'm thinking, what you're thinking is not the important thing. We are alive right now, that is the important thing. So, it is important that you focus on this fundamental sense of aliveness within you, and then you will see there is a natural distance between you and your thought process. Once there is a distance between your psychological process and your physiological process, this is the end of suffering. Because there are only two kinds of suffering that human…
I think that is essentially showing that there's a dissociation between your words, your feelings, and what you think. So I can try and convince myself that I am something that I'm not. Maybe it could be I think that I am a unicorn. And the more and more I think that I'm a unicorn, potentially the more and more that I'll act like it, but I'll never become it. I think that I did speak about this with Val, actually. You can start acting like something, but it doesn't mean you necessarily be it. But the only reason why you start acting like it is because you say it. When you start to say it, you start to act by it. What Sadhguru, I think, is trying to say here is that there's a dissociation between the life that you live and the words that you say, the words you think. Those two things don't have to be in parallel. They don't have to be actually working together. I could say that I'm a unicorn, but do nothing of the sort to make me ever think that I am. On the flip side, you could do everything that you think that there is to become a unicorn, but you still never become it. You're still more of a unicorn thinking of that and acting like it than you are if you were just to think it. But your actions don't always have to be aligned with your words. Your words always don't have to be aligned with your actions. I think that's kind of what he's saying there. And then how that relates to removing negative thoughts, it's kind of realizing that those negative thoughts will never go away. They'll always be there. I'm anticipating what the following 3 minutes will say here, but I would assume that that's where he's trying to go with this, is that your thoughts don't have to be a reality. when you start to believe that your thoughts are your reality, that becomes your reality. But that's that dissociation I think that he's talking about.
Beings go through physical suffering and mental suffering. Once you create a little space between you and your mind, between you and your body, this is the end of suffering. This is something every human being has to experience and know. Otherwise, thinking I will just remove negative thoughts and I will have positive thoughts, all the best, it's not going to work 100%, it's not going to work because nobody can remove it, they can avoid it for some time. So when negative thoughts come, you say Ram Ram, Shiva Shiva, whatever you want, but this is just avoiding, it's not gone. The moment you stop that, it will pop back with great force, otherwise it'll come back in your dreams. So it's very important, first of all you need to understand your anger, your resentment, your fear, your anxieties, the negativity that you generate. Generally resentment, anger, it is always directed towards somebody. But we need to understand this is poisons that we are drinking and expecting somebody else to die. Fortunately, life doesn't work like that. If I drink poison, I die. If I drink poison, you don't die. So, we need to understand this. When I say poison, today you can have yourself chemically analyzed. Right now, what is your blood work, what it says? 5 minutes of intense anger, check your blood work and see, there will be lots of negative elements in it, literally you're poisoning yourself. So, do you want to poison yourself? Definitely not. Now the very question is coming from certain helplessness, what shall I do? Don't do anything, just sit back and just concern yourself with something which is a life process. Maybe your heartbeat, maybe your breath, maybe just a sensation of being alive, depending upon how sensitive…
He's kind of taken the twist that I didn't think he was going to take. He kind of went into more focusing on the moment. I think the most important thing is actually, to be fair, he isn't really explicitly saying anything. He's more giving analogies for how it could work, and I think that it's not necessarily a step-by-step guide. And I also don't think a step-by-step guide typically is the way, because it's always going to be individual. But I think what he's giving an analogy to is more being in the moment rather than focusing on your thoughts. Where I would that is helpful. Don't get me wrong, but I think that the true way to actually proactively go against it, this is more of a reactive approach. The proactive way would be to actually frame your thoughts as neutral. They don't have to be a reality. There's still a minute left, so quite potentially he goes there. Maybe he's actually inadvertently said that already, and maybe I missed that. But I think that the main thing is actually disassociating your thoughts from reality, and your thoughts don't have to become that reality through action or through constant reiteration of that.
Or how perceptive you are, accordingly find something. It could be a sensation in the body, it could be breath, it could be heartbeat, it could be anything, something which indicates life to you. Just pay attention to that for some time. Slowly you will see there is a distinction between what is you and what you have gathered, which includes both your physiological and psychological possibility or mess, whatever you made out of it.
Yeah, I think that a common thing should be, as well, because I don't really believe in giving a one-size-fits-all message, is that he gave you a few examples on how it should feel once you're there, or how you can start recognizing patterns. Exactly what Relentless is really like. It's not a step-by-step guide, because, you know, one step for you may be much bigger than a step for me. It's always going to be very individual. That's why, you know, the 10 rules to life or the 10 rules to success or whatever isn't really ever going to work for everyone. But I do think that he did it in the right way. He gave a lot of analogies, but I also only think that you can truly understand what he's saying once you implement it. For someone who is hearing this for the first time and has no understanding or can break it down completely, it's kind of irrelevant for them, because they won't be able to dissect the full message. But I think that if you have some awareness to these types of thoughts, patterns, how you can start to observe thoughts for just being thoughts and etc., maybe you can understand and dissect it a little bit more. But I'd be interested to see what you guys think in the comments below. What do you think of Sadhguru's message? How do you think I interpret it? What do you think that are the main things from this episode, the takeaways? How do you think I thought about it? Was there anything you'd like me to add? I'd love to hear what your thoughts are in the comments below, guys. So make sure you interact, join the Patreon, make sure to watch the following episodes. The podcast is getting better and better, as I said. So, guys, I hope that you're here for the journey, because I am too. We don't show any signs of stopping. We're only going to do more and more, only going to improve more and more. So, thank you guys for listening to this episode, and we'll catch you in the next episode of the Sculpted Podcast. See you then.